Well, today we're going on to our next learning style, and that learning style is interpersonal. So interpersonal, if you are really active and you are really friendly and you like to talk to people and you're outgoing, this is this type of style. If that is you, then this type of style learning is for you. So let's get started right after this intro. Hey, what's up, my Optimal Mind leaders, my Optimal Mind performers? Today we're going to be talking about basically interpersonal learning style. That is, if you are somebody that is very outgoing and really like to talk to people and be in groups, this is definitely the style and strategy you should be using when you're trying to learn something at work or at school, or you just want to learn a new hobby. This is something that you should be implementing for sure. So I'm going to be discussing basically how, if you're this type of learner, how you can actually implement this in actually real life and how able to learn new tactics and strategies by using these types of tips that I'm going to share with you. And there's 3 that I'm going to share with you. So the very first one is actually have a discussion with people when you learn something new. So let's say you're going to school or college and you're learning a new subject. The best thing that you can do to be able to solidify that information is to have a discussion with either a friend, a family member, and just talk it out. And then have an argument about it. You know, when you're having a heated discussion, it doesn't have to be like really bad, but just, having an argument or even just discussing about it and comparing and reasons why, you're able to explore more and also see other different viewpoints from other people. And you really like this because you're already an outgoing type of person, so it just kind of naturally happens. So I encourage you to start implementing that more so that you can actually retain this information more, and the subject becomes more interesting to you, especially when you're in lecture, because you actually have talked about the topic with somebody else, and then you report back every time you actually have a new lecture, a new day at school, things like that, to be able to go back to your friend or your family member to be able to have a further and prolong that discussion. The second thing that you really should be using is actually teaching someone else of what you learned in class or what you're trying to learn, whether you're watching a YouTube video or you're actually trying to learn something new at work. Do it by teaching somebody else. By doing this, you're actually using all your senses because you're actually teaching, you're saying it, you're thinking it, you're feeling it, you're writing it out on maybe on a board or something like that, demonstrating. You're using your hands-on physical learning aspect, which we've talked about in previous videos. So all these things that you can implement all together by actually teaching it, and that really is the true way of solidifying it. That's why teachers are really good at what they do, because they're always teaching, so they're always consistently solidifying and perfecting what they already know to even actually at a more deeper level when you actually teach it. This is something I had to completely rely in medical school. In fact, even my first year in medical school, we would have usually about a group of us of 3 people, and we would take turns teaching each other the difficult concepts of biochemistry, pathophysiology, anatomy, all these things. We would actually teach somebody else, because then usually when I get up there and teach, what helps is by teaching it to somebody else, especially if you're learning the same subject, so the same classmate, they can help you clarify, or maybe the way that you were thinking it is wrong, and they kind of, correct you, which is so important so you don't get it wrong on the actual exam day. So that's huge. And that really saved my butt so many times, because how I might have read it in the textbook and then teaching it to somebody else, they're like, well, that's actually not how it is. It's supposed to be this way. I was like, oh, that's something I missed. Thank you so much. But by teaching it, it helped me actually really solidify it. So when it came to exam day, it was easy. It wasn't completely easy, but it definitely helped significantly by teaching somebody else. The third thing, this kind of already goes along with what I said about in the previous one, by teaching others, but having somebody else also teach you can really help, because that's also with the type of learning of being an interpersonal, you're actually having that relationship. And that, with my classmates in medical school, we knew each other very, very well, because we spent hours and hours studying together and teaching each other. And by doing that at a deeper level, you build relationships, and it becomes more of a funner learning habits and a funner learning environment by doing that. But also compare notes. When you're comparing notes, especially after class, you maybe not feel like you actually take good notes. I remember there was a girl in my class, she created the most amazing notes, and if it weren't for her notes, I don't know where I would be. But she created really amazing notes that were very visual, because she was really good at taking notes really fast. And, I would compare notes with her, and she sometimes would share notes with me, and it really helped me, to be able to actually use her types of notes and solidify maybe things that I didn't understand, during the lecture, but that she did, and she maybe wrote it in a different way. So by doing that is another way to be using your interpersonal skills, being sociable. Now, not everybody's like this, and that's why I've shared all the other types of learning styles, especially the intrapersonal, who are more introverted type of people and are more internal thinkers. And you can check out that video in my playlist that should be showing up after this video. But basically, that's what it comes to being an interpersonal and using those tactics and strategies. Now, if you are actually wanting to know more information about, okay, what type of learning style am I? Well, I have a downloadable guide that you can download in the description below. It's basically a quiz to kind of help you kind of determine what type of learning style you are. And based off of that, then you can apply the different videos that I've shown in the different learning style techniques. And if you're new here, you can go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also hit the bell notification button that gives a thumbs up if you like this video, because every week, every Monday and Thursday, we post a video on ADHD tactics as far as, schooling tactics, personal development, ADHD health, and other mental health stuff as well on this channel. So until next time, this is Dr. LeGrand signing out. And remember, you have an awesome mind. Thanks. Bye.